Okay, so I just played a warm-up game in which I threw what should have been a good opening and turned it into a bad opening. My opponent made some ridiculous moves, but I didn't find the right moves to punish it, and I was pretty much playing with a rook for a queen, which is never good. We get a Sicilian, unfortunately. You know, I could play, you know what, I'm playing an open Sicilian now, and that's very unusual for me. Please play g6, I feel pretty comfortable with that, but that it does not seem to be what we get. I'm gonna commit the bishop. Okay. This is certainly a move, I would say. No, it's not. Maybe it's fine though, because the knight shouldn't go there, and if the queen attacking it currently, if that were to happen, then I will just play the Maroczy bind move, and we can maybe slide the bishop back, and it's pretty decent. This is about what I would want if I were to play the Sicilian, which I guess I am doing right now, currently. Here, moving it back onto this, I mean, they don't have anything really going on, so I suppose I can start with this, just stopping any of this in the future, because I want to slide this back. Here I'll just take like this, and it's probably fine for me. Is it? Maybe I missed something. You know, but I would like take first. They would take here. And I have this extra pawn, I think, so I would say I'm pretty happy with this. I actually wonder also about this move, but I assume that doesn't work. You know, I felt some regret actually for a second, because I thought they hung the knights, and I was like, oh, why didn't I take it? But there's the bishop. Now here I can just go here, and this is very powerful. They are going to play e5, but their weak pawn should be abusable. Alternatives include what? Not really anything. I mean, yeah, I'm inclined to say that this is the move. They'll play e5, then I'll slide back, and maybe plans like this work, but yeah, maybe it's not as good. Maybe I should have thought a bit more. Maybe there was a better option in moving the bishop here instead, but then there's that, and maybe probably not. I don't know. That's a weird move. I don't really get that one. I assume they're just going for checkmate. I don't know. Seems like a bad move. Better to spend time developing or whatever. So this is one less square for the knight too. It just seems really ridiculous. Do I care? They're just attacking me again. Well, it seems there's one move, so I will just play it. I don't know, there's a lot to calculate. I don't know if I believe it works though. And there might be other moves, which which should be sufficiently scary. Here, here. Here. I mean, I'm not a believer in this. Here, here. Takes, I can just take like this. Oh, but then they would get a pin. Also have moves like this, which are scary for them. But maybe I don't want to start with that because I would like options. They do have this square. That's a lot to calculate. But the gist is I don't believe them. Also could take it like this, I guess. Oh, am I the dumbest person on earth? I am. Oh my god. Oopsies. That's not good. Don't do that. Oopsies. It's such a good position too, because they've done a bunch of nonsense and they're very weak. Yeah, I don't know, it's just so good for me, but instead I decided to lose, so there's that. I mean, yeah, my opponent's very clearly, well, I don't know, it's hard to comment on the ways people play from one game. It's more of an anecdote than anything, but seems like they get there just by, you know, making a bunch of moves and not really thinking about it. Which works, because a bunch of random mistakes happen, but it seems like they don't play very positionally. But, you know, it's one game, and not a lot of moves, so that doesn't really mean anything. I'm gonna play this instead of the modern. I will be focusing more on the modern on Lichess. I think I'm gonna try more to win here. So I have a better idea of where I'm at in my journey. Very good. Is that bad or no? I don't remember. I believe that's a bad move. Not losing or anything, but not good. I think the position's a bit better for me now. And I've played a position like this and I kind of messed it up, but then my opponent like stopped playing or whatever and I won on time. My main mistake in that game, what was that? I don't really remember. I wonder, is there something good here? castle. If I were to go here, they'd be kind of forced to do this. But I don't think there's a follow-up. Just a lot of trades. Is this annoying? Well, I think my queen would just take back and I wouldn't care at all. So I think I'm supposed to just castle. Then there are going to be ideas of this and this, and maybe I should have played this first. I assume not, though. I assume what I'm doing is fine. I have to assume that this is fine. It's only really a slight advantage. But there isn't really any denying that my pieces are better. It's just that everything is going to get traded with, you know, not much going on. If they just castle, I assume rook e8 is fine. Bishop, I kind of want to do something like this, and then like move my queen here, but I don't know what that's doing. I'm threatening checkmate on this square, but I'm not because of this, and it's like nothing's happening. They can play this kind of whenever they want. But if I were to go like here, and they were to play this, then maybe this is quite scary for them. Is it though? Probably not. But I don't see any way to immediately really punish its existence, so I'm gonna go for it. It just seems like everything's gonna get liquidated, though. I should be focusing maybe a little more on this pawn than I am currently, and looking for ways to win it, because this is gonna be isolated. If I'd like it to be. If it were my move again and I were to play this move, then I might be winning. Because I don't really know how they would go about taking it back. For for example, if they were to take back with the bishop, why do I think this is so good for me? I don't know. It's not. I mean, if they were to take back with the knight, but they're not taking back, right? Yeah, I don't know. But after this, for example, is there anything? This? No, there isn't. Yeah, I thought I saw something, but I'm not really too sure about that. There are a couple moves that would throw the game down, and maybe they'll go for one of those. They take. My plan was to take with the rook, because this seemed quite scary for them. With this extra pressure here. And I'm adding more pressure to this, and I'm taking this and this and that. For example, it is worth noting though that the bishop is currently very strong. I do believe that this is a good move. It's worth noting that the bishop covers this square. If they were to take, I were to take, and they were to do this, they wouldn't be targeting the queen, so I'm fine. It's worth noting a lot of different things the knight can do though. But yeah, I don't think they really have anything immediately. And this is a big weak point in my position, which I do need to be constantly considering, or else I may find a way to lose the game. Seems like a reasonable move. C6 might help me not lose the game, so that's certainly a consideration. I was thinking maybe after this there's some problems. Because I want to go back here, but then if they were to take like this, then I don't really know. Here, 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 here. Like I move a piece, and I don't really see the continuation. Drop back, but this doesn't seem particularly good. They're not threatening anything. I do have ideas of this at any point. This is certainly a move. Yeah, I am kind of concerned about this whole ordeal. Although this looks quite pleasing to me, because it kind of misplaces their pieces. And it keeps the queen kind of tied down to this knight. Yeah, I like that. It's worth noting threats like this though. knight's also tied down there. I think here I just developed the knight to its logical square. I'm allowing for them to push, but I don't know, with an option like this, any moment it seems fine for now. The alternative, I don't know, not a fan. Also defends the bishop for whatever that's worth. Yeah, this is very strong. I wonder even if they would just consider going backwards to deal with it. Also wonder, like, okay, I take, they take, I go here and it's probably not working because the bishop takes there. Their pieces are very tied down. Bishop here is an interesting move, actually. Not one I considered. Actually, it just gets taken, so there's nothing to it. Otherwise, it does seem kind of cool, though. I'm expecting maybe like a3 or a rook move. Or this. Moving the bishop here makes sense. I also wonder about this square, but I assume that's not going to be the move ever. This stops the pawn from advancing, and then trading off their weakness. In the future, although in the immediate that's not really a concern of mine. Also allows for stuff like that, maybe after this or whatever. Although I don't really think that kind of sack is going to be very good. If I ever want, I don't think this is a good move, but here, you know, they take it, I can take with the rook. Okay, they play that. Makes sense to me. So if you're here, it just doesn't quite work because of the rook being attacked by the bishop. I don't think there are any pawn pushing ideas which I like here. I think my pawn is just pretty solid. This and sacking the rook is a strong idea I would consider. You're here. I don't really know how to feel about that, but I do think it's probably pretty nice. Oh, I'd maybe play something like that anyways, but here. If I do go here and they go here, then probably here, here. I don't think they can move the knight productively. They would just take back, I would take back, and their pawn would be somewhat weak. I mean, I'm not a fan, but it's the best that I see. If here, then this might work in some fashion. I don't know if I would get the two pieces or I'd just be sacking the exchange, or if I would just play none of that and find a way to save the rook. But yeah, I think that's fine for me. And if I can get another rook to join the party, then this is very nice because I can take the bishop actually. I don't think h3 is ever too useful. I mean, the bishop's no longer defended, and it also gives a square to the rook, but I don't think this move ever actually really changes anything. Other than, of course, things like this. But I don't think it changes anything in regards to this bishop's safety or this rook's productivity. I mean, also, it might give a sack here, but probably not. This bishop is nice here, but if they kick it, I don't really want to go back and have this happen. It seems quite bad for me, so I would just have to play this. This covering the rook square, like in lines such as this, or this seems like maybe it is useful, because I do want to try to attack the bishop by moving the rook here, and things like this. But I do think they can really just kick it, and it's not like bang 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 works. So I would just do this and Also ideas of like this and this, but I assume that's not gonna come to fruition. So right now the plan is just try to maximize the amount in which taking this does, and if it ever works then play it, but then if it doesn't work, that's fine. We'll just play a very even position. But it is worth also exploring ideas like this. If this were to happen, it'd be fine, right? Yeah. So with this and this, takes. Oh, but then it's still doing that. And if I don't play that, then here... What? Okay, that's not a move in my mind. Okay, so first thing I want to calculate, if I sack the rook, doesn't really seem to do anything. Seems like a very terrible way of playing. And takes. Okay, so I'm either moving the rook to d8 or e8. It's worth noting that e8 maybe comes with some sacks or something. I don't remember. This square seems potentially useful, at least. I don't know if they're trying to go like here. In which case, I assume I can just play this, and this maybe, but then they're attacking, so maybe I'd have to go back here. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm not also the most worried. Maybe this is better, but I'm not going to spend time calculating all that. I wish I had a bit more time. We'll just play this. I think this is fine. And I'm really looking to go after this. Also, if there's this, or if they play this, I cannot respond. But if I play that, I don't think playing this, forcing this, does anything. I was trying to sack the rook this whole time, so... but I guess now this is no longer hanging. But then the pawn is hanging. That looks very scary for them. I have a hard time believing in this. Because, like, here it takes. I gotta go over. And if I were to take like this, I guess it's not a check, but I'm applying a lot of pressure. And ideas like this don't work immediately. I'm pretty confident this works. Takes. I'm just gonna play it. Yeah. Now they, of course, should do this. This would mean that they are less capable of trading or whatever I'd say, probably. I assume I can take like this. And I assume that's the best move. It's worth noting that after this, then maybe this. But like this. But like no. I would like to win this bishop. But it doesn't seem very doable. I can just take that though. So I will just play this. This is very scary for them. But then I'm not targeting that. And no, it's not as good as I would like it to be, but I would like to think that it's not losing at least. Go here. Surely I have to do this. After like this, for example. Takes, check. Here. Really? What does this do? No one's forcing me to take it. Is that controlling any key squares? I don't think so. Takes here. Takes. Takes. If I were to go like here, for example, that looks pretty good for me. Or I guess if they're doing this, but they can't take the bishop. They have to take the knight. And if I were to go here, then it's pretty scary, but is my opponent making don't take it, then but there's so much to calculate. If I don't take it, is kind of my issue. But like here in this, for example, but then maybe they go here, but then I don't know. Let me just make sure this is fine. If this is fine, I'm just gonna play it. It looks safe to me. Looks like I have 2 bishops. And I'm very happy having 2 bishops. They will be attacking this square with the rook, though. Presumably they can't just take it, so they would just play this. But, you know, when I save it, there are going to be problems with maybe like rook takes here, but I'm not getting mated yet, and there's got to be some decent counterplay. It's complicated. I'm gonna just take it, I think. Wait, do I have to take? Wait, am I blind? Wait, here they have to take with a knight. Wait, how am I down a piece? Am I stupid? Okay, I got kind of owned, I think. Yeah, what was that? I didn't even consider this. It could only be so bad for me. I mean, well, if I do this, they have to play this. After which I would play this, this, right? Then they'd play this. I don't know, but then this is hanging. They're really attacking this. Yeah, maybe we didn't do this properly. Yeah, I guess I did that really terribly, didn't I? Takes. Here maybe. And I mean, I'm infiltrating, and this is a lot of pressure. Maybe, possibly. I don't really have a clue what's going on, truthfully. You're here. If we were to just take this. I don't know, I feel like that's gotta be a little scary at least. But I don't have to let them take. I mean, I can start with this. Isn't that the same thing as me taking? I think so. This is just an extra tempo for me. Because is the knight check doing anything? I am giving them a knight check. Maybe it's a bit of a strong one. Yeah, I was really dumb, but I'm really running out of time. I'm just gonna take like this. Oh, do they have a check though? Is this problematic? I don't know what's going on at all, really. It is worth noting potential back ranks, but this is probably not happening. I assume this is the move. I'll take like this. I mean, this is a bit of a threat, but I don't really know why they would go about worrying about it. Because I don't really think they can afford to. You know, with this and... Huh? Maybe. But... Really? Maybe this works. Well, if I go here... There's also a move at some point. Go here, and they go here, and they're blocking it. And I also have the option to play this afterwards. If they go there, it's fine. So I will just check. No, but then they can block with the rook. I think here I'm probably supposed to play this. No, but then I'm making a weakness. I don't know what I'm doing. Doesn't really make sense, does it? I'm down 2 pawns. The king's a bit weaker, but like, eh. I do have this should nothing happen. Then this and this. I mean, it's winnable. Should I play perfectly, I think. But, this is what, objectively losing? Maybe, maybe not. I could see it being holdable, but after this I don't. But, like, also, they're creating an issue for themselves. But it's not really an issue I can abuse. And eventually they'll just, like, what, move here, and it's like, eh. But I think they're gonna not play this. It doesn't feel like something one of my opponents would do, and if they don't play that, then I actually do think I have decent chances. Truthfully. Here. I am ignoring stuff like this, but you know, with the bishop covering that too, it's possibly holdable. I do kind of think this is the best move. In fact, I feel like this is the only move to hold good winning chances, but I really don't think they'll play it. I mean, I don't know, it seems very scary. Like, I really wouldn't want to play this move as white, but I probably would. I play a bunch of risky stuff that I don't know if it works, so I probably would play it. But as black, looking at it, I just don't see anything to abuse it with. So I'd go like here and here, and I don't know. Maybe they'll play like this, or I don't know if that makes sense. Something to deal with my future, whatever. I mean, what else could I do? I just have nothing. Here. Ooh, that's a lot of calculation. I don't like that. Wait, I have way too little time for this. Okay, I don't think that's losing. Worst case scenario. But I don't know, it's kind of annoying. But I think after all that, I'm not, like, quite losing. So I have to play this. And then something like this. Is there another option? I'll go here. Ah, this might not be acceptable. Maybe it is. They were to go here, and I could go here probably. No, I couldn't. Here it'd have to go like here, I think. Let's go here. No tactics? I don't believe so. Oh, that looks scary. That's a check, though. Wait, oh, is that losing? Wait, where did I go? Okay, so unfortunately I've lost this after having good position too, so it's very bad for me. I'll just take it. Yeah, but I need them to throw this in some crazy manner. They need to push this pawn, basically, for me to have hope. Yeah, let's start with this. Okay. And now I will resign. How do you do that? Very good. Audio? I guess it's because an ad, eh? No? Interesting. Okay. Okay, chess is getting played. This is kind of slow. Okay. So we take with the pawn. Apparently this is very bad for me. And okay, I guess I just didn't play the sequence properly, and this is all think the main sin in this game has to be just not understanding why this is so bad for me. Taking with the pawn does actually seem quite nice, but this is 1.1. I mean, what they do, it's still good. They kind of mess it up. They don't really see it either. And then there's this, and then I just don't play very accurately after the fact. Okay, so I guess my opponent also didn't really see it. See the position properly, I think? I don't know. I just don't understand how this is bad for me. Like, and how's the engine capitalizing on this? Well, that's very interesting. It's not 1.1, so it is worth noting that my engine is very bad, and in fact, bishop e3 is the best move. No? Okay, so the engine here is just absolutely terrible, which is, I think, part of which does suggest that I really do need to get my computer fixed, my better computer, because the engine just had no idea what's going on, I guess. But still, this isn't very good, so I'm very interested. Like the game review, when it ran, this is gonna be a little stronger. So I believe that's the best move, right? Yeah. Once D takes, or this. Sure, whatever. Now let's just see the D takes line, because that's kind of more in line with what I played, and I want to see how this unfolds in a way which is better for my opponents. I mean, this move isn't the worst. Although I wouldn't actually move my rook away from it like that, I don't think. Like, I would probably maybe play like queen e8, which is fine. Goes all the way back. I'm curious about this move. Bishop d6, yeah, bishop d6 is fine too. Okay. What happened? Oh, this happened. And now I need to do that, deal with that. So let's say instead I just take the knight. Well, I guess I'm leaving out the bishop pair. Wait, why is this still losing though? Oh, because there's this. I see. Yeah, I don't know. I need to just be tactically better, I guess. I don't know. I think I will play a modern. Perhaps even with white. Picking another game is kind of crazy, but whatever. Yeah, let's play a modern. Okay. Okay, very principled from them. Okay. They push that. Do I care? Should I prevent it? What's happening? I don't really know. I think I'm gonna push b4 to then get extra eyes on this. Could also start with this. I'm not really sure which is better. I think I will start with this. defense to the pawn. Can't blame them. I'm curious as to which way they will castle. Probably kingside, I suspect. I'm almost certainly going to be playing c5 or c4. I think something like this probably creates too many weaknesses in some way. I don't know. If I want, I can play this move. Maybe decent. Unsure. Opens at the bishop. Probably do just want to play this and then maybe give myself a square here for that. Knight there. Yeah, I'm inclined to say that this is the best move. This feels pretty good. I like how it's turned out. Okay. I like that decision, maybe. A little bit, at least. I wonder how they deal with rook c8. I mean, or rook c1. I mean, it's not that bad for them. I don't know, I start generating something. Oh wait, well, no, the bishop just goes back. If I can get the bishop out of here, though, I do win. And by win, I mean win this pawn, which I would say is winning. They are really relying on that bishop. But I don't really see how that's going to get abused. I mean, this knight doesn't really seem like it's doing anything. Let's start with rook c8. Probably should. I mean, I'm going to end up playing it anyways, so who cares? This is an interesting idea. Looking to play this. If I were to go here and maybe they were to choose to go here, then again they can do this, and it seems like I've kind of just wasted some time. I could keep the tension, probably not a good idea. I'm just gonna take it. I think that's probably best. Okay, rook c8 makes sense. I can consider just developing my knights as well, putting pressure on this pawn. And if they push, it's a little awkward, but surely it's fine for me. It's quite a good knight. I'm probably inclined to just play knight f6. Push takes, and we are just getting the knight here. And no matter the direction they take, they have some problems they need to solve. Yeah, I think this is a fine move. Interesting. So now they really lose any real pressure they have, and I feel like this is a point in which I feel okay saying that I'm better, because I feel like they've lost a lot of what they could call the pros of their position. They're not really storming me or anything. I think I'm just going to castle because it's the most universal move. And I'm thinking about maybe queen b3, rook c8 is coming though for sure. And if I'm definitely going to play rook c8, maybe I should just play it now, is a thought of mine. I'm almost certainly going to play rook c8, so I'm going to get it out of the way. I don't think I have really much else to do immediately. They go there. I don't think that's really doing too much. But, you know, it's bringing the rook out. I probably would be wise to connect my rooks, add pressure to the pawn, which is part of why I think maybe this is better, but then of course they can't, you know, throw pieces behind this pawn, so it's not an insane decision from them. I am curious about this move, but I don't think it's really doing anything. If they go here, then I go there anyway, so yeah. Okay, I'm inclined to say that this is the most universal move. Interesting decision. Not a bad one. I'm not sure it's needed. I don't think Stockfish would consider it its first choice, but I think it's also gonna end up getting played anyway, so it's not much of a loss. No, it's not hanging because the knight. I could try pushing this. Actually, because I really do want to dislodge this knight. There is this knight, though, unfortunately. Kind of stopping my plans. But this knight moves, and I can actually take this. How much do I want to take that, though? Should I just start pushing? Should I double? But if I double, then they're just going to do that, and it's like, They're just going to move this out, they can move here, they're going to trade. And is that good for me? Do I want the rooks off? Possibly. This gives them this square, though, whenever they want it. It's like kind of a headache. This is an idea, and if they were to go along with it, I think they would be winning. I could put my rook behind one of these pawns, but that's a difficult decision. I mean, which pawn do I want to be behind? I might end up trading, you know, just pushing this. I could push this and this, but I feel like that's maybe then granting them the attack. So, my final decision, I think there was one move that I looked at that I thought was kind of okay, but I don't really remember what it was. This also gives me this. I mean, I have that anyways, but I would like to open up the bishop. Yeah, I like this. This seems odd, because I'm giving them an outpost, and it's not really something you're supposed to be doing, but I'm also maybe giving myself an outpost. Granted, if they play this, there's issues, but then maybe I have this at some point, and I am trying to go after this. Their pieces are really tied down to defending these feature weaknesses. Okay, they just try to break it open, which makes sense to me. I feel like this is almost certainly the move. I don't really have to think about that part of it. The alternative is just letting them take, which maybe makes sense. If this happens, they go here. That looks a little annoying. Wait, why is that making a difference? Because this lodging in or something gives them an outpost there. So I'm gonna take it. Potential pressure from this bishop later on. It is worth noting that this knight can even go here, although it's a little scary maybe. They do this, which now justifies that king move, certainly. So this is a good square. This is also a good square. They decide to kick me though. I mean, it's not bad, but It's not the best it could be. I'm a little unsure as to what the best way to do this is. If this knight were to move, this pawn would be hanging. Which is worth noting. This blocks that. I think I want to start with this, have this happen. But then this doesn't work. No, that doesn't work out in the end. I don't know. I don't really like anywhere this knight can go. Because this blocks the bishop, and other squares are often asking for trouble. This square covers a few key squares, but is less centralized. And I don't know how to feel about that. If I go here, they go here, I go here, and you know, they go like here, for example. I don't like this predicament, but I guess I'm just moving it up. So I'm gonna do it. They go here, and I go here, they go here. Yeah, that's not good for me. I mean, I worded it. Whoa! What hangs a pawn, right? No. So I just take this, and maybe they'll take back like that, but I'm happy to see that, I think. Maybe not. It looks a little weakening. Take it back with the queen, I mean, this is hanging, and I don't think they have a follow-up, which I really mind, so I'm just going to take the knight. They might just take like this. I'm going to be obligated to play this, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, they do decide upon that. Fair enough. I could even consider something like this, which is an odd sack to make. I am just gonna play in the most defensive way possible, here and then here. Well, I don't have to go here actually anytime soon. Unless the queen is ever behind the bishop, there's no real point to it. I'm interested in moving this rook now, giving me this. This pawn is also hanging. Maybe they'll try something like this. After which I do have to be cognizant of this, but I assume it doesn't really matter, and I'll just move the rook wherever. If the queen were to move, I would have a tactic, but I don't see how that's happening. This seems probably bad. I do want this knight to not be useless, so I will just move the rook probably to here, although with that happening, there's an argument to be made, but I also have this protecting this. It's hard to say, really. This probably is best, but I am very scared of this. But I gotta move that knight, man. But then this comes with tempo, so I have to move the queen first. It's kind of a mess. Okay. I don't see an immediate issue with this. This pawn might become weak, but I don't mind doing that. And also, that would probably hang their pawn, yeah? So maybe a queen move and then I can play knight e3, which again is currently blocked by the fact that this attacks. Oh, can I do that? Wait, don't. Okay, I pressed some weird key on my thing that I didn't know existed. Or maybe I didn't, because then it canceled my pre-move. Because I wish I could draw arrows and stuff while not canceling. But there are drags. Oh, you can drag something without. Okay. So I'm concerned about this with this, because this, and then this, of course. That takes away this square actually, which is a good decision for my opponent. Yeah, that's a nice find, I think. Yeah, I'm running out of squares. That's probably a pretty good move. I'm wondering if maybe this is good, as this attacks this pawn. They're maybe threatening things like this in the future. I can also just trade. Yeah, I think I'm gonna concede this file and then play this, so I can then play this, and I assume that's not too bad. I'm looking for this. Okay, this seems pretty good and creates a weakness here if they push, and I assume everything ends up fine there. I don't think there are any ways they can really like harass me into losing. Like if I were to go here, and they were to go here, well, I would have, maybe I wouldn't have that square, but I would go like here maybe. Then if they go back, then I'm just winning that, so yeah, I will just do this. Okay, that induces weaknesses at least. I'm even wondering if this immediately would be a good move. Perhaps not, perhaps so. But then this, and that's a lot to calculate. I may end up doing so, I may not. Let's look for it better. I don't see better. So if I go here, then I guess my fear was this. Without hanging this pawn, and so they would need something like here, and I don't think they have that, so. Well, no, but there's more to calculate after that too, no? Wait, but after this, if they'd start with this, right? And if they were to start with that, then is there anything I could do? No, there isn't. So very simply I can just go back, and now this is weak, so I'm not sad about what happened. It's worth noting that going to the square, and you know, there might be issues, but I can go here with my knight even, and have that be potentially useful. I'm skeptical of that move's quality. If I were to go here and they were to go here, well then I'd just be able to go here, and like here, here, and I'm pretty happy with the resulting position, I think. Unless I failed to calculate something, but I don't think so. I don't think I have any pawn moves. I can also like take like this if I somehow decide that that's not worth it, but I assume I won't. Now we're adding more pressure to this. Okay, push a pawn. here seems good. Maybe there's some way to move out of the way, which is useful. Is this blundering again? It does seem so. So, one move I would consider is this often. Also, they've given me this square for the knight, so I don't think I'd mind if I do. Just seems like a very good square to have. I mean, of course, it no longer is defending this, which is certainly a concern I hold against this, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just go here, here. Are there issues? Maybe, maybe not. I don't think this is... No, this is fine, because they're no longer... Were they ever dealing with this possibility? Maybe, maybe not. If I take, I have more mobility, and I'm really attacking them. They maybe will go here, but I don't know, I'll be able to like move my queen to places. I would like my queen to be a bit less useless. Usually it's pretty good to have a queen. I do have to watch out for like the pawn and this and that, but I don't think there's a way that... Their pieces are much more loose than mine. Me having a loose pawn on a3, I think, pales in comparison to what they have over here. I mean, if they want to go after, spend time going after this pawn, I think they're going to get absolutely decimated by the queen with their open king and all these pieces. They do this, which surely fails in some manner. Maybe not. It is true that I didn't consider this. I just have a hard time believing that this is an okay way of playing chess. Here, here. I don't have any squares though. If I go here, they were to take. Then they'd take here. I mean, I could also just move this here. And if they were to go here, I think this would be fine. And I should be covering everything, I would think. So yeah. Granted, no, but then my queen covers that, so I think this is fine. Maybe the rook and the bishop could work to target this in a line where maybe we trade, but I don't have to trade. I assume I can just do this, and I mean, this is a lot of pressure. Their pieces are just very loose. But everything is holding together currently. Oh, but this move might be kind of disastrous. If I take with the rook first, forcing this, but you know, they have bishops here, and I mean, they gotta save the bishops, I think, before anything, for trying this. Maybe they don't, but I can certainly generate some counterplay in some manner. And I mean, this, if they move the lights, lose the light square bishop, there's ideas of this, and it's just also very strong. That is a legal move. I don't think it's a good one though. For example, I can try this. Or I can wait with it. Go here. If I go here, what are they gonna do? Go back? And then if they go back, I go back. And if they want to kick me, that seems a bit ridiculous, so I think I will just spend some time on this. I think they missed this move. Do I mind this though? What if I don't want to be time a queen there. I mean, they can win it, I think, and I'll be fine as long as I find something dangerous. If I were to go here, well, my issue is if my queen's in the way, then I don't want that. I think I'm gonna go all the way back here and just play in this way. If they want to take like this, I should have ample counterplay. I mean, I could even sack it. It is very tempting. I mean, their king is just so open, but I then do have to, like, you know, play accurately. And it might not even be good for me. It's very tempting. But I'm gonna save it. And maybe play like this. Maybe I should start with this though. But then, you know, there is pressure coming like that to contend with. Can I push this? Should I push this? Yeah, it's probably fine. If I can just get rid of their bishop pair, or particularly their dark squared bishop, I do feel like I'm doing quite well. Very curious about this, but it doesn't seem to be useful. It just hangs a pawn. Oh. No, yeah, that's quite bad. I do kind of want to defend this pawn. Okay, that seems like a bad move. Maybe they'll, like, lock it in place. You do you. Not really my issue. Why can't I play this? Oh, why wasn't this on the table before? I don't really know. We're just gonna play it. What'd they do? Oh my god, please don't lose to lag, because that's very scary that it messed up my timer and stuff. That'd be very bad. This should be fine. No more dark squared bishop means a very weak king. And if this knight were to ever move, I would have this, and it would be very nice. Here, here. And what, I just move this here probably. Assuming that doesn't blunder anything, they'd have to move that first anyways, before there's an issue. I don't know what move they made. Oh, I do. Okay. Well, this is obvious. If I take it back, they take this back, whereas this makes a very weak pawn. So this is certainly the move because of this. Yeah, that seems like a terrible move, but also one I have to, you know, think about. And sometimes the thinking is the biggest issue. This seems acceptable. Maybe not. Hard to say. About what I expected. Wait, can I cover the promotion square? I think I can. I'm gonna assume this is fine. I don't actually have a clue what is going on. Could be losing, could not be losing. With the knight retreating, am I up a piece? No. But I'm up pawns and this and that and Cause like this, but then, you know, check and here, then I trade that, and then you know, I have all these pawns, but are the pawns going to be adequate? They do this, which I actually didn't consider at all, and is that losing? Very clearly, I don't have the slightest idea, but it is losing if I don't make a move, which it seems I won't end up making a move, because I have no clue what to do, which is very cool. I did not mean to do that, but doesn't matter. Okay, so it was losing. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Seems they were just better the whole time, which I'm a little surprised by. Just like this being very weird. Okay. So, okay. They wanted this immediately. What do I think the difference is? I don't know. I mean, I thought about doing this immediately too. I thought it'd be nice to get the bishop out, but I don't entirely know. Maybe they were supposed to play a5, which is why, but then the question is, why are they supposed to play a5 and this and that? But okay. So I have a nice, healthy advantage at the opening, but it seems that in the future, when I thought, you know, I was a bit better, but, you know, maybe it was a bit difficult to play. I was a bit worse, and it was a bit difficult to play. They really want this e5 move, so that's going to be something I'm going to look at. And yeah, I really dislike this. I thought this was kind of a weird move to go for too. I thought it might be bad, but I didn't really see what I was supposed to do, if not go for this. Maybe they want something like this. I'm not really sure where this knight's going. I'm not going to bother to figure that out. Yeah. I really shouldn't have played this. And I think I understood that I maybe wasn't a great move, but I wasn't certain it wasn't a great move. I played it because I thought it, because I didn't know, I just didn't see a path ahead, whereas that seemed like maybe it could lead to a path ahead. Whereas apparently there's a lot of, oh, I kept forgetting about this. No, but that doesn't, I don't know. That's a different idea than when I thought about it before. Okay, and yeah, yeah. This seems pretty strong. Should have realized that. Apparently there's some sack or whatever. Okay. Mm-hmm. And now here, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to go to there. I see it now here. Oh my god. Okay, missing that is kind of crazy though. That's kind of unacceptable. Is this the best move? I don't know. I would have played this had I seen that. But it could also still be losing because of some rook thing. Um, well, I assume the eval bar is reflecting this position, is it? Even if it's not giving the game review thing for it. No, it's not. So that move wouldn't have worked. This would have been what I played. Maybe this knight move. Probably not. Oh, it is knight e3. But yeah, I don't really see how this helps so much because of this. Maybe the engine was being a bit weak when it was like only one knight. That is 93. It's the only 93, so yeah, I think this is just losing, and maybe the engine here is just being pretty poor. So I want to go back and look at e5. And I should maybe think more about why this earlier is better than this. Seems in the modern normally you want to play this with something specific. I don't know. Okay, so it does want this move. I feel like it calculated this, and it's just losing a pawn. But maybe after this, So I think there's some tactic here. Or no, because of this knight? I mean, I just want to be fed the answer. Ooh, the music's back. That's nice. Knight to g5. See, this knight just seems kind of loose though. But it is attacking, that's okay. So I do win that back. If they push... just want this. You know, I get castles, everything's kind of fine. And there's this knight to contend with. They want like knight g4, which, you know, seems kind of scary. But everything turns out fine, I guess. Oh, is that the wrong knight? The other knight then leads to this, and I don't want to calculate all this. I think maybe I should think about my methodology for getting better with all this. Because it seems I'm often too confident in my positions in these openings, and really just in general, all openings. And it's not necessarily me thinking that, like, oh, I'm certainly going to win this. I can look at something and go, oh, this is going to be challenging for me to play. But I look at things a lot and go, oh, I think Stockfish would consider this better, or okay. Off of this, like, sense of... I look at it and go, okay, well, positionally this is fine. And I don't think there's anything immediately tactically, so I feel like it's better for me, even though I'm gonna have trouble not blundering. But it seems that No, often these positions are just kind of bad for me. And I'm, playing thinking they're like fine. So then the question is that tactical or not? And I don't think it really is tactical. I mean, I hate speaking like this. I've said this many times, I think, but tactical is pretty meaningless when contrasted with positional, because they're the same thing, except they're not. Because, but if you take them to their logical conclusion, they are the same thing, except they're not, because then they have this meaning within the way in which humans think. And then taking the way in which humans think, there ends up being a difference, and it's just I really hate the language, but maybe that's me being insane. And I mean, because any normal person knows what I mean, and nobody's thinking, oh well, actually they're the same thing. I don't know. But yeah. I think I just have no clue what's going on. And maybe, yeah, I don't know what I can do to do better. I mean, I'm not too worried about the elo I'm losing in terms of my strength. My strength is still I think it's 1850 if I'm playing the Roy Lopez and maybe the Petrov and the King's Indian Defense or whatever. But being tired and all this is making it kind of scary. But I think I need to ignore it. Just ignore the rating. It's not really accurate. I'm not becoming worse or anything. I'm just playing openings which make it more challenging to win. And I'm not further from 2000 than I was a couple days ago at 1840, 1830, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm doing something wrong, something very wrong, and I really need to establish what that is. Or am I doing something wrong? Maybe I'm not, and it's just part of the process, and it's fine that I'm not evaluating these positions right, and that's not necessarily a focus I need. It's hard to say. I think I do need to evaluate these positions better, though. And maybe to do that, I need to maybe have more of a focus on where these pieces are and what that means for the position, where the pawns are and what that means for a position. Because somehow I'm abstracting the position in a way in which I'm not really too worried about where anything is. And I guess when abstracting the position, I just always feel better. But I need to be able to go okay, well, the knight's here, knight bishop here, their pawns here. So then I have these general ideas as to what that entails for the position, combined with my side and what I want there. As to opposed to looking at this and evaluating it as just, weaknesses, whatever. I'll figure it out. Because in the game I was calculating things. I certainly was calculating things, but I don't know. I maybe I just don't have enough of understanding of, okay, pieces here, that there. Because the only real understanding I have for that is I'm gonna switch sides. Say I'm playing the modern with black. I do this. Here if they were to go h4 or d4, and I were to play bishop g7, they were to go h4. Okay, I understand pieces here, here, but if they play knight c3, I go here, and they go here, it doesn't. I don't really have a different conceptual understanding of this than this. I can go, okay, maybe this gets a tempo in the bishop at some point or something. This is targeting this, so I'm more likely to want to play e6. But I feel beyond stuff like that, I don't really have a further understanding of the differences between these two. And then once you get more and more pieces out, that's more and more of an issue. So I think maybe I should focus on that. I think maybe the best way to do this is watching a bunch of Hikaru games, but at the same time, maybe that's not really the best way, because Hikaru does a lot to get out of theory, and I don't know if that should be my first thought, or well, maybe, but it's also fine. I mean, if it's fine for him, it's fine for me, as long as I'm, learning how to play the game properly, and I understand what I'm doing and why this is risky or that is risky. I don't know, because I really do need to see plans with pieces in different positions, and I think that's maybe difficult to do, and the only player I can really think of with a bunch of games here would be Hikaru in Title Tuesday, and I assume in the opening, even though he does do a bunch of nonsense, I can maybe learn from the ideas in regards to the structures, but that's not very direct. I mean, I don't know, I could pay a chess coach. And it's certainly interesting. I'm gonna end it there. I don't really know. So I think I've lost like 4 games in a row. I think I played 3 games here. Maybe I've only played 2. I played a game before that, but yeah, it doesn't really matter.